Bitcoin is an ideology that spawned a protocol that created an asset that circulates on a network. The ideology is sovereignty, sound money, freedom and property rights, right? Dignity of the human spirit, ownership of your life force, economic sovereignty and immortality. That's the ideology of Bitcoin. And Satoshi gave us that.
Altcoins come and go, narratives change, but Bitcoin is the truth. The hardest money the world has ever seen. I thought about it, long and hard, pros, the cons, dug deep, questioned everything, and at the end of the day, you've got to make up your own damn mind. I have conviction. This is freedom. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. I'm a Bitcoin maxi. This is freedom. I'm a Bitcoin maxi.
All right, legends, a beautiful Friday. I think we are all getting ready for the weekend. Maybe you've got some plans, okay? Or, you know, doing nothing is also a plan. Just by the way, guys, doing nothing is also a plan. And I really think it's good for people to also sometimes be a little bit bored, be doing nothing, especially from a spiritual perspective. I'm not going to go into too much detail with that today because we are here to analyze the price of Bitcoin. Okay, I haven't been doing a lot of live streams, but I am thinking of increasing the frequency from next week. So we'll see how it goes. So maybe one thing that I am considering, okay, is to maybe still do a live stream every single day. Okay, but I'm going to keep them shorter, maybe 30-minute live streams. Okay, so something that I will be thinking about over the weekend is to come to you guys a little bit more frequently, but then I'm really going to practice that. I'm going to be brief, I'm going to be bright, and I'm going to be gone. Okay, right, legends, because I'm receiving so many messages from people saying that we miss you, Dewald. Please, can you do more frequent live streams? I am busy with other things in the background as well. So perhaps what I will do is increase the frequency and just keep the live streams a little bit shorter. Okay, so that we can identify those trading opportunities together. Right, people are streaming in slowly but surely. Great to see everyone. Yeah, let me go through some comments, say hi to the community. Let's take it easy, let's take it slow, let's take it relaxed. I know, as per the thumbnails, altcoins are popping, Bitcoin is dominance is dropping at the moment, so money is flowing into our favorite altcoins. I see Doge is exploding. Nice little trade that I took this morning, and I did highlight this trade inside of the Legends Pro community. And this is what I basically said, guys. I just used Doge as an example. I said, when we are in a trending market, Legends, please remember the D-line strategy. It works exceptionally well in trending markets. Breakout, and I think Doge was here when I highlighted the trade. Let's go check it out. I think I did. Let's go here to the altcoin analysis. Where did I post this? Right, you can see that's where Doge was. I said, guys, pay attention, right? A trade around the corner. And then, okay, well, this is now basically what played out to perfection. This is where I plan to take profits and close the position. For me, guys, these day trading trades where I play the small little breakouts to the upside, it's not about I have caught it. Thank goodness I was able to get in. Now I'm just going to sit on my hands and do nothing and wait for it to continue to the upside. No. You play the breakout, you take profit. You play the breakout, you take profit. You play the breakout, you take profit. It's day trades. If you don't have a swing trade open from lower down, okay, it's silly to, when prices pumped this far already, just to think this is it. And it's just going to continue. No, you need to get in. You need to take your profits. You need to get out. Leave a position open for higher levels. If you get stopped out at break even, at least you paid yourself. Right. Okay, so I'm not sure, Legends, the pro community here inside, if anyone took the little Doge trade over here. Not sure. Okay. When I saw the rejection here by the 1.236 and the 382, I closed Mr. Trade over here. So I'm currently out of this position. Right, now you wait for a next consolidation and a next trend to form, okay? So maybe what's going to happen over here now is that it's going to form another little trend. Who knows, right? So maybe what price is going to do here is, okay, and it forms another trend. Okay, so now you have to be patient. You have to be very patient for these trades and the trend lines to form to play the little breakouts to the upside. Guys, here on the higher time frame, I'm using Doge as an example, but Link also, Litecoin, exactly the same. They are, this was the trend that you should have waited for. Now, this is where you can leave your position a little bit longer, okay? If you played this breakout and you are targeting, maybe as a TP1, this little pivot over here, because now you have an amazing entry and you can start de-risking yourself, okay? Yeah, so perhaps what's going to happen here is going to have pullbacks along the way, and it's going to hopefully get to the TP1 area at least, but it has a chance to come and claim the high. That's where you leave some of the position open. But even on the larger time frame, you apply the same rules. When you hit resistance, you pay yourself, okay? You protect position. So if you get stopped out, you lose nothing, and you get stopped out with the profits. Price goes higher, well, then it goes, right? The moon bags that you've left open will go and claim the highs. So it really depends on which time frame you want to trade. Okay, that's what it's about, Legends. If you're trading these small little breakouts that I've just highlighted on the 15-minute time frame, you can't get in here and expect not to get stopped out, okay? Unless you have that is my FOMO strategy. I always say, guys, unless you have a FOMO strategy, by all means, you knock your socks off. But my FOMO strategy, I can still day trade this. These little breakouts, I can still day trade them. Because I know that the momentum is in my favor. The trend is up. And it's in my best interest to look for longs. So if I don't have an amazing entry over here from a swing trade perspective, which I do have, but then I can still take little day trades. Okay, right, before we kick the party off, Legends, over here, all right, I've got Bluffin. Guys, do not forget about Bluffin, an absolutely amazing exchange. I have moved most of my Bybit cash into Bluffin. I really enjoy the exchange, okay? 20% cash back for the money that you deposit into your features account. I just want to see if they do have a... Let me just check something here, guys. I think they do have another... I don't have it yet. Right, but 20% cash back on Bluffin. BTCC is also where I've got some of my swing trades open. I still have my ICP, my Doge, my Litecoin. Okay, I just want to see where I have my entry on Doge. Ooh, okay, wait, I'm gonna have to go here on the 15-minute. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to go to the 1 hour. It's like, so you guys can see, I did not play this breakout, okay? It was definitely a nice little breakout to get into because we did speak about it, right? Okay, for some reason the trend is not working here, but you guys can see I basically played this little breakout, okay? I played this breakout. Okay, so I have an entry further down, right? Just enjoying the momentum here to the upside, but there was another breakout that took place over here that we've just discussed. So basically, you know, I've got my swing trades open. I think Link, yo, what is happening with Link, right? I just see a massive explosion here to the upside, but you guys can see I have entries a little bit further down. And on BTCC, okay, on Bluffin, which is now currently one of my favorite exchanges, I must say. I really enjoy trading here on Bluffin. But I also have that XRP trade. I see there's a lot of comments here for XRP. Yes, I caught the breakout trade because when we spoke about XRP during my previous live stream, okay, this was the trade that I highlighted. Right? Did you take it? Did you not take it? Let me know in the comments. If you did, well done, right? Remember, XRP is starting to hit the first TP area. Well, it did hit the first TP area. You need to start paying yourself and let me, let me practice what I preach. I need to take some profits here, guys. I need to take some profits. I'm going to take 50% profits over here. Okay, I need to pay myself, right? $4,000, $4,500 profit at the moment because this was a day trade. This was not a swing trade that I opened over here. This is a day trade, guys. But, you know, you need to pay yourself, right? You're hitting resistance. You're getting a consolidation. Yes, can it continue? Obviously, that's why I still have some of the position open. And, right, also, I think my position is protected. Let me just swipe here properly. You can see my position is protected. But what I want to do is just de-risk myself even a little bit more. I want to de-risk myself over there. Okay, right, legends, these are my favorite exchanges that I use. Bluffin, BTCC, and Weeks, where I do scalping. I use Weeks for scalping, you know, those small little day trades that I've shown you guys. I use Bluffin, I use Weeks, but specifically Weeks because the trading fees, okay, you get nice discount on the trading fees by using this link down in the description. You also get upgraded to VIP status 1 only by using the link down in the description. So, legends, if you're not trading with one of these exchanges, right, I'm not sure what you are waiting for. Okay, let's get into the technical analysis here on Bitcoin. As always, I know everyone, when altcoin starts popping, everyone wants to look at their favorite altcoin. Let's just quickly focus here on the price of Bitcoin because it is the king of crypto at the end of the day. And now the question is, can momentum continue? Okay, right, or is this the top, right? Have we now formed the top and we are going to go down, right? So maybe we'll make a higher low continue or we take the lows again. Everyone that's just gotten bullish over here is going to get stopped out, and then maybe we get continuation to the upside. Right, Stefan, welcome to the live stream, man. Azat, welcome. Dewald, where do you see ETH going? To the moon? Is that an answer? Is that an answer? We can definitely go and check out ETH. Let me just get it ready here so I don't forget. Okay, let's open up ETH over here. Let's go to the 8-hour time frame. Okay, I will discuss a little bit of my technical analysis here on ETH as well. Something very interesting that I want to discuss on ETH. Okay, I do have a target. I have a target for ETH where I potentially think, you know, there's a great profit-taking area. So I also have an amazing entry on ETH. Okay, from a spot perspective, I did not open up a swing trade on ETH, but if my memory serves me correct, just want to go here onto the daily, on the 12-hour, right? I have an average entry in this zone from a spot perspective. Okay, and no, I'm not planning to cash out just as yet. I will show you guys my targets. You can see there's a blue line running here to the upside. Okay, question is, where does it end? Where does that blue line end? Where does Dewald plan to take profits? Okay, but first, let's continue. Mars is better. Yes, definitely. Or Pluto, right? Can we trade in SA with these exchanges? The Fransman boss? Yes, you can. South Africa, I must say, is luckily one of those countries that do not restrict any of my favorite exchanges that I use. Okay, you can use Bybit, you can use Mexi, you can use all of the exchanges down below where you qualify for the best sign-up bonuses and lowest trading fees, but you can use all of these exchanges in South Africa. Okay, and you can even register, you can even verify yourself and still successfully use them. So it's not an issue of you have to use a non-KYC exchange. Right, but also with all of these exchanges, when you do decide, okay, to KYC yourself, you get rewarded for that. You know, they drop money into your features account. So if you are able to trade being KYC'd with these exchanges, you also get rewarded. So go check it out. Right, now let's continue the technical analysis. Legends, so let's first go here onto 8-hour time frame. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick recap of all the scenarios that I spoke about during my previous live stream. Okay, and then we can go and analyze this little local structure. What the hell is happening over here? Okay, so let me see if it's this one. Most insane bullish case scenario. Okay, I'm going to have to go to the daily for this one. I'm going to have to go to the log scale. It's basically just up, guys, right? Most insane bullish case scenario is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is an extended fifth wave. Inside of your fifth wave, you formed 1, 2, maybe another 1, 2, 1, 2, and remember, the more 1, 2s, the more bullish it becomes, okay? And now you want to just see continuation. It mustn't stop. It must just continue to around at least $150,000, right? 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, because of the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you need to end the structure in the same way. This is the most insane bullish case scenario, but I do have to stress, guys, I do see that there are some technical analysts that are regarding, that's regarding this structure as their primary structure. For me, this is not the primary one, okay, but it's something that we definitely have to keep in mind. And this structure will become my primary structure when we hit a certain level, which I will show you now. When price continues to the upside, or if price continues to the upside and it hits a specific level, then I'm going to give this scenario the highest probability. But for now, it just feels too moon boy, if you guys know what I mean. It just feels too intense, too insane, okay? Right, but from a technical perspective, I have to respect my technical levels. If we hit a certain level, I will give this the highest probability. Okay, then we have, let me see if this one, right. It's basically the same scenario, okay, but I've basically just painted it from here because I overlaid it with the other structure. So it's now the contracting diagonal. Okay, so let's focus on this little structure over here on the daily time frame. So 1, 2, you can form another 1, 2, which is this, guys, for me feels better. For me, this is my primary scenario because I am one of those conservative traders. I'm not just a put your moon boots on, you know, up to Mars we go, like you guys are saying over here. Okay, I like this scenario more because technically it also makes more sense to me. And I have to respect the technicals. Yes, we all want price to just go, okay? But technically the scenario balances better, okay, from a structural perspective. And I can just imagine how this is going to scare the shit out of everyone. And this is why I like this scenario. Everyone turns bullish, okay? As soon as we take the all-time high again, you turn bullish, okay? You make your last little fifth wave there to the upside. Retail comes back, everyone, you know, altcoins are popping and flying and, you know, everyone goes crazy. And then all hell breaks loose and we start claiming these lows, okay? And people are like, oh shit, you know, that ABC is going to play out. We're starting the bear market. Right, you make a higher low, okay, because remember, if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, okay, you want to make a higher low, your invalidation is this low over here, right? And then we lift off. So for the bulls, this is the scenario that needs to play out. Okay, I'm not saying exactly like this, but from a structural perspective, you have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low. Okay, so without looking at Elliott wave theory, if price decides to top out over here and it falls down, you want to form a higher low compared to this low for the bulls to stay in control. You do not want to change market structure. Okay, and then you want to see continuation. So it doesn't matter how deep the fall gets here and how aggressive it gets to the downside, as long as this low is protected and price does not eat up the low at $74,000, the bulls are still in control. Okay, because I can just imagine if price had to fall aggressively here to the downside to, let's say, $80,000, $89,000, people are going to say the bear market's here, right? You form a higher low and you continue momentum to the upside. So for now, I have to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, not because I love the bulls and I'm biased, because the structure has not been invalidated. So technically, I have to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt because the market structure is still intact. I have no reason to be bearish just as yet. Okay, technically, I have no reason to be bearish. Right, so guys, you know, my technical analysis is not based on whether I want the bull market to continue, and I'm biased, and you know, because I feel like it, or my technical analysis is based off, my bias is based on my technical analysis. Right, so for now, this scenario that I'm showing you right now, for me, carries the highest probability from a technical perspective. Okay. So if price continues, okay, now let's go here to the 8-hour time frame. Let's just zoom into this contracting diagonal. Since it is my primary scenario, I just want to spend a little bit more time inside of this structure and tell you guys, well, what am I looking for? Okay, inside of the structure, okay, it looks like we have formed 3 wave structures in every single wave, which is allowed in a leading diagonal. Okay, you are allowed to form 5 waves using 3 wave structures to the upside and to the downside. Okay, this can definitely be counted as a 3 wave structure, whether it's an ABC or whether it's a WXY, it can be counted as a 3 wave structure. 3 wave structure down, and I must say, technically, this move to the upside counts better as a 3 wave structure, but you can force a 5 wave structure inside of it. And that is why the scenario carries higher probability for me, because you have to force a 5 wave in here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 4th wave is a problem. That 4th wave for me really is a problem, but it's not an invalidation. Okay. Right, then 3 wave structure here to the downside, and guess what? You can form a 3 wave structure to go and finish your 5th wave. It tops out, okay, after claiming the high of 3, and then all hell breaks loose. And if price does reject in the zone, let's just call it round about $130,000, okay, you want to see a large corrective structure that at least finishes after the 0.382 from a timing perspective. So let me just take all the noise here out the chart. Right, so guys, you take your time fib from the low that we've created here by number 2 to the potential high. Okay, I will adjust it as soon as the high is in to the potential. I've just put my line there. Can you guys see my line over there? Okay, each impulse has to correct itself, and from a timing perspective, this is the minimum time that the correction needs to finish by. Okay, so you're still looking at the 3rd of October. Okay, it can go to the 2nd of November. Right, it can even go to the 1-to-1 extension. The one thing I do have to highlight is that in leading diagonals, okay, in a leading diagonal, I have seen that corrective structures love this zone. They don't particularly go to the 1-to-1 extension. Okay, it's just from a backtesting perspective, guys. Whenever I've seen a leading diagonal, the corrections are very short in time. Okay. Right. So that's basically what I wanted to highlight over here. Okay. Invalidation, guys. Now, this is the invalidation I wanted to tell everyone about. Remember, in a leading diagonal, your fifth wave, okay, is not allowed to be longer than this wave. If it is, it invalidates the structure. Then we're going to look at that crazy bullish structure that I showed in the beginning. Okay, so very easy to go and calculate that target. It is still very far up, I must say. Okay, you take your trend-based fib from the low of 2 to the high of 3. Now I have the length, okay, and I place it here at the bottom of 4. And I just swing it back to the upside. Reverse it back to the upside. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is your invalidation for the scenario to the upside. If price taps $137,000, okay, then up we go. Right, let me call this invalidation. And let me throw it into the folder. Okay, so ideally, okay, you can see there's two little fib levels here, the 0.618 and the 786. Okay, so if momentum continues here to the upside, these two levels you want to keep an eye on, because if I see weakness at any of these two levels, most commonly it is the 786, okay, from a leading diagonal perspective, but it can reject at the 0.618 as well. So this is going to be a very interesting zone to observe for shorts, okay, for shorts, right? Because, I mean, I've drawn it a little bit sideways here, guys, but it can get aggressive. It can fall properly here to the downside. It's just not allowed to claim the low, okay, because after a 1, 2 can even retrace to the 786, and then we get the third explosive wave to the upside. If we claim the low, well, guys, then we're going to start talking about bearish case scenarios, macro bearish case scenarios, as soon as we claim this low. So for now, I'm not entertaining those scenarios because the structure is still intact. Still making higher highs, still making higher lows on the macro structure. And if price does successfully reject here, well, you know, you want to, how can I say it? You want to, the highest probable scenario would be to make a higher low because the structure is still intact from a bullish case scenario. This is potentially a flush out for continuation. Right, so legends, this is the scenario that I prefer at the moment. Okay, it's also a little bit more conservative. And if price, okay, because guys, I'm just going to smile, you know, if price taps $137,000, if it continues here, breaks out and taps the invalidation for this scenario, well, happy days. You know, I've got my spot bags already packed. I'm in my swing positions. Okay, happy days. I'm just going to keep on holding. And that is why it's so important to position yourselves early as possible. Okay, because if you're going to start buying over here, you're going to be exposing yourself to so much risk. Right, so maybe before I continue, let me go through some comments. Okay. Well, let's do it over here, legends. Let me read the comments through over here. What is cooking over here? Oh, you guys can see. Let me do this. Right, let me do this. Sockman has joined. Is Mr. Sockman in the house? Jeroen, always great to see you. Hi, Dewald. I'm on right now, slightly charred. You are forgetting the second invalidation line, which makes it not a contracting diagonal. Yes. Jeroen, you're right. You're right. Okay, so second invalidation, you take a parallel channel. Thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot about that. Okay, you put it onto wave 3 and you put it onto wave 2. Okay, what I like to do is just my style. I like to take a little trend and place it here. Okay, make it red, nice and thick, and I put invalidation, invalidation. Okay, can take the parallel channel out. We don't need that anymore. Just to clean it up, make the line red. Come on, play with us. Right, that's also your invalidation to the upside. So this scenario, rightfully so, like Jerome has just highlighted, has an invalidation and it has an invalidation. It's not allowed to be a parallel channel, leading diagonal. Okay, because then you're looking at expanding structures. Extremely rare, guys. I cannot tell you how rare an expanding structure is. I don't even consider them, especially, here on the larger time frames. On the 1 minute, 15 second, the teeny weeny tiny little time frames, maybe they play out there. But on the larger time frame, I have never seen an expanding diagonal. Okay, right. So this is the invalidation. Okay, it's not allowed. It has to be contracting. Can you guys see? It has to be contracting. As soon as it taps the invalidation, then it's an expanding structure. Never preferred. Then we need to look at other scenarios. Okay, invalidation. Okay, so hopefully we get this. Hopefully we reject here before we get the movement down. Then the invalidation is invalidated. Okay, right. So okay, so also here on the larger time frame, guys, if we are going to form a larger corrective structure here, 3-wave down, 3-wave up, maybe we get another 3-wave down over here, claim the lows. Okay, as long as you don't tap the invalidation, all I will simply do is this. That's all I'm going to do. Okay, structure is still intact. Right, but for now, that's the price action we have, so I have to respect the price that we have at the moment. Okay, so this scenario is still very much intact. Right, I just want to make this solid. It is irritating me a little bit. Let's make this solid and let me put it into the folder. So next time I don't forget. Right, guys, this is how important it is to have folders. Okay, you can clean up your technical analysis. You can put alarms at your invalidations. You don't have to have all the shit on your chart. Okay, right, now let me put my sexy face here back to the right and maybe do a little bit of lower time frame technical analysis. Mariela, always great to see you. Yeah, hello everyone. Crypto Big Brains sent me. Yeah. Good day, Dewald and Legends. Always great to be here. Yes, Mr. Sockman. Welcome, man. Invalid. What? Jeroen, there we go. Thanks, Jeroen. I appreciate you reminding me about the second invalidation. Very true. Very true. Okay. Dewald, monthly 1212 combo still on. I think that is monthly. Okay. I do have a 112. Well, I think this is the one I spoke about during the beginning of the stream. For the Moon Boys, okay, this is what you want to see. You want to see continuation. You basically just want to see up, right? And I do have a scenario for that. Here we go. It's basically just up from here, guys. Like I said, technically, the scenario could play out. But for now, until the invalidation to the upside is tapped for the contracting diagonal, I'm not giving the scenario the highest probability. Right. So I think we're going to need a massive, guys, to get this little leg here to the upside to $150,000. We're going to need a massive catalyst. What's going to give us the catalyst to push price here to the upside? Do you guys think it's the Trump 401k? You can now include Bitcoin as part of your retirement fund. I don't know, guys. The news got released. We had a small little pump, and it's okay. Volume is still going down. Not the highest probable scenario at the moment. But I have it in the folder. Definitely want to keep an eye on it. So let's go here to the regular scale. Okay, now let's zoom into this little structure. Okay, this little structure, guys, this little corrective structure. Okay, we need to speak about this corrective structure. Hey, Dewald, Sandra, cool crypto. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Sean, welcome. Okay, I've gone through that. Okay, so, and by the way, Stefan, there is a more insane bullish case scenario. I mean, I don't want to talk about it in this stream. Let's talk about that scenario once we hit $137,000. Then I will talk about a scenario that could even take Bitcoin to $500,000. It does not carry the highest probability, okay? And I'm not going to be that YouTube influencer that says 500K. Imminent. No. No. We trade level to level, and we trade conservatively. We pay ourselves, we take profits, and Yeah, that's how we roll. Okay, I'm not gonna tell everyone hold on until 500k. Okay, and then I get the reputation that a Plan B made for himself in 2021. All right, legends. Only 54 likes. I think we can do better than that. Only 54 likes. No, guys, come on. The alpha that I provide over here is priceless. Well, I hope so. It's priceless. It certainly deserves a little bit more likes from you guys. All you need to do is a gentle tap on that like button. Right, legends. Now let's speak about this little structure. Okay, let's speak about this little structure. So there is a chance that the low is in. And that's what we're all hoping for right now. Altcoins are exploding, ETH is popping, Doge is popping, Link is popping, Litecoin had a nice little rally to the upside. So, I mean, we all want to see continuation. Excuse me. This structure can be counted as a finished corrective structure. Whether you count this as a WXY, whether you count this as an ABC or an ABC, guys, I'm not going to get hopped on the internal structures and people arguing with me, no, it's this, no, it's that. Point is, you can, whichever way you count it, is a three-wave structure. At the moment, it's a three-wave structure. Okay? After an impulse, what you want to see is a three-wave corrective structure. That's what you want to see. You want to see some bullish CVD against these pivots, which we got. Okay, so the target is still the high. The question is, and this is what we don't know, is the correction going to continue? Because after a three-wave structure, okay, this can become an A. Okay, or a W, doesn't matter. Okay, ABC can be, doesn't matter. It's either an A or a W. And then you can get another three-wave structure that then gives you your X or your B. And then you can form another structure that gives you your C or your Y. So can you guys see that the corrective structure can still continue in a, oops, where's my pen? In a larger three-wave structure, of which each structure has three waves inside of it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's a chance for the lows to be claimed again. Always, right, guys? That's why we trade with stop losses. Okay, it can't just be only up or only down, right? You need to have your risk management in place. But there's a chance that the low could be in. The one thing that I do want to highlight, okay, this move here to the upside, this little move here to the upside, for me personally, and maybe there's another technical analyst that will look at the structure with more clarity. For me personally, the structure is very difficult to count as an impulsive structure. Okay, what do I mean by an impulsive structure? I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want to see a three-wave corrective structure, and I want to participate in the next leg to the upside. Okay, which is a number 3 or a C, it doesn't really matter. But you want to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside of 1, you need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the structures internally are extremely messy. Okay, it does not look like 5-wave structures to me. I'm giving the bulls the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I did play the momentum here to the upside, because regardless of whether I can count the structures or regardless of whether it looks impulsive or not, I can still take the trades with good risk management. But when I go here onto the 1 hour time frame and I look at this little impulse that we've created here, guys, like this, what is this? Like, it's not an easy structure to count impulsively to the upside. It looks expanding, which is rare, never preferred, unless all us other scenarios failed. And you know, Elliott wave theory does state that if it's not a clean impulsive structure that really makes sense to you, it's most likely a corrective structure. What if this is an ABC and an A wave? Okay, maybe this is your 3-wave structure down, so maybe this is your B. Okay, And now this is your C, okay? A, B, C. And now we fall down. Oh, okay, you know, it's not going to be that aggressive, but, you know, you form a wave here to the downside. You come and eat up the lows again. Right, for now, for me, it does look better as a three-wave structure. Can it still continue here to the upside? Definitely, guys. It can still continue to the upside. I just want to see, when I take a fib, where did we reject? If I take a fib from this high to the low, okay, can you see where price got the rejection? Exactly at the 50% Fibonacci. Okay? Right. I just want to see from a VRVP perspective. Guys, I know I'm supposed to be bullish here. Everyone's bullish, okay? There's hype in the air. And I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for, you know, saying that the structure does not really look bullish for me to the upside. It really doesn't, okay? And I'm not saying that I won't play longs, because I did take 2 long trades. Yesterday and the day before. And this morning, I took another long trade, which I already took profits and got out, and I will go through that in a moment. So it's not to say that I can't trade long trades. I'm just saying the structure does not look great. It's a messy structure, guys. Anyways, I wanted to switch on the VRVP. Just want to look at the volume. You can see that we are approaching a high volume node. Okay, price is approaching a high volume node. This is going to be a very difficult nut to crack, guys. So if I had to now entertain the bullish case scenario, what you want to see is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to see one more high. Okay, you want to see preferably a longer consolidation area, which we will most probably get over the weekend. So maybe we get a dump down today, or maybe we get one more high today, and then on Saturday and Sunday you want to see a consolidation area mimicking what happened over here. You want to see one more push here to the upside. Maybe you reject here by the 618, and after you have your 5-wave structure, it is the downwards momentum that's going to give me the clue whether this structure was indeed bullish. Because if you fall down in another 3-wave structure, bullish CVD building up, then there's a chance, okay, let's go. Right, but if it's going to reject here, guys, okay, if it's going to reject here, maybe it gets, maybe it, you know, it does that, it rejects, and it starts falling down here. It's not going to look good for the bulls, because then it looks really like a 3-wave structure. Okay. So, as you guys can see, we are hitting resistance, massive resistance at the moment, okay? So, please do not FOMO into long trades, okay? Especially here on Bitcoin. Altcoins might still pop to the upside because dominance is dropping, and, you know, perhaps people are shifting money out of Bitcoin into their favorite altcoin. But, guys, do not FOMO into just buy the dips over here because you think, excuse me, Bitcoin's going to do this. Okay. Right, now, I need the structure to show me the way, guys. I need the structure to show me the way, okay? For me, for a confirmed, guys, well, you know, I already have an entry further down. I can't remember at this one, right? This is the trade that we took together as a community. This one. So I have an entry over there. Still on weeks, okay? I took profits on Bluffin and on BTCC. I'm out of the trade already, but on weeks I still have an entry over there. And I took profits on the way up, especially when we claimed the highs. I took some profits, and now when we claimed the 50%, I took more profits. But I would like to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I see that, I don't mind missing out on this, guys. But then you want to see a higher low, okay? This is where I want to participate. Okay, well, this is going to give me the clue whether I can participate in the next leg up. Break of trend, what we did over here, okay? Whichever, depending on how price develops, I will make a trading decision. But for now, for me, this is not a place to jump into a trade, okay? Just with your entire account hoping for the best. Right, now, let's zoom into the 15-minute time frame. Okay, can you guys see? Start on the larger time frame, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Right, now, the trade that we took together, let me just go make sure. Just to show you guys, I'm not smoking my socks. It's here in the BTC analysis. Okay, one of the okay, before I get to that, right, let me just start from the top. Okay, it was here. Was it this one? Okay, that was the one trade, guys. Before we broke out, I said, look at the D line, guys. And then inside of the chat, I told the legends, I'm taking a small position, because we were tapping the trend, chopping, and I told the legends I'm taking a small position, and then eventually it popped to the upside. Okay, right, and as you guys can see, it popped to the upside, and then it formed another trend. So without counting any Elliott waves, if you guys are saying it's a complex thing to do and there's so many scenarios, without count, there's no count here, guys. Okay, without counting any Elliott waves, I played the breakout. Okay, I saw the trend forming again, and guess what? I told the legends about the daily level and the naked point of control, but keep an eye on the trend. It might front run, and it did. It did bloody front run. Okay, it broke out before it hit the support that I was eyeing for. Okay, and I said, guys, tempting, the front, what did I say over here? The front running in motion. Okay, right, and then TP1 got hit, and we did get a rejection there, a slight little rejection, and then it continued to the upside. And this is how we took these trades together successfully, okay, with good risk management. And this is the trade I took this morning, on the 15-minute time frame. So let's switch off the VRVP. Yeah, Mr. Crypto Big Brains, that is, yeah, that is not easy. How do you manage to put 3 trades on 3 different exchanges at the same time? How do you manage all the trades that you are in? Share your knowledge with the legends. Yes, it's not easy, guys. I used to really, I'm not gonna lie, struggle to use more than 2 exchanges. Okay, but I've gotten the hang of it, because I've got 3 screens. I can open them on different screens, make sure that they are ready. When my alarm goes off, okay, I will already have the position size, the boxes, everything highlighted, and it's a matter of just clicking 3 times and I'm in. Clicking 3 times and I'm in, and then luckily with these exchanges, okay, and this is why I like to use exchanges that has great UI. Luckily with these exchanges, you can quickly drag your stop losses and things in place. I don't know if maybe you guys know it, okay, but did you guys know that if I go here onto BTC, let me show you guys here. If I go to BTC, okay, here on Bluffin, okay, let's say I enter, okay, it looks like momentum is carrying down. Let's enter a quick little short here. Okay, let's just do a market order. Let's do 1% and let's enter a short. So let's say there I go, I'm in. Okay, poof, I entered a short. Did you guys know that you can hover your mouse over the line and it has SL and TP next to it? So what I do is I drag my TP, I drag my SL, and I'm in. Done. Can you guys see how quickly you can do this? You can do this on BTCC, you can do this on Bluffin. Okay. I don't have to go and type in anything. I don't have to go here and type in anything, or I just drag the lines. I'm in. Okay, because I already planned my trade. Okay, this was the trade that I took this morning on BTCC. I didn't take it on Bluffin. Okay, this was the trade. I had a trend over there. Okay, and I highlighted the naked point of control to the downside. I said, guys, we are approaching support. Was it this little box? Yeah, there we go, guys. We are bouncing on support, but I had the trend there, and then I saw the breakout. I was like, okay, first thing I did, guys, I don't just FOMO in, okay? I plan the trade, because I say, okay, it's breaking out. I am targeting this little pivot. This is a scalp trade, guys. My thinking at this time, it's a scalp trade. There's resistance. That's where I plan to close my trade, and stop loss needs to go there so that my risk to reward makes sense. Okay, I actually entered with a retest. Yep. My risk to reward made sense. And now once I have my trade planned out, okay, so I saw the breakout. Can you guys see the breakout? And we came back for a retest, which gave me a better entry. Beautiful. That's what I wanted, because now my risk to reward makes sense. 2 risk to reward. Okay. We almost hit the high, but I'm that type of trader that will always set my TP just below the profit taking area because I want to get out before the police comes. It's just a habit of mine. So slightly below the highs is exactly where my TP got triggered. I was busy doing other things, guys. I think I was busy washing the dishes, and then when I came back, I was like, hey, nice trade. TP got hit, right? Beautiful trade. And as you guys can see here on these exchanges, okay, it's very easy to get in. Right, already $7 in profits. Okay, guys, I'm just going to leave this trade to play out. Let me just leave this to play out. Right. Now, okay, if you guys would like to use these exchanges for the best bonuses, 20% on Bluffin, okay, up to $10,000 sign-up bonus on BTCC for weeks. Weeks I like to do scalping, and then you also get that 25% discount on your trading fees. Okay, I think, guys, Weeks has another amazing deal. Let me open it up here. For those of you that don't know, let me open this up. Weeks, guys, at the moment has this amazing deal. If you do like scalping, okay, if you download the app and you haven't downloaded the app, maybe you're trading from your PC, okay, they have an ETH position airdrop just by downloading the app. And then also, depending on how much money you deposit, you will get a bigger ETH position inside of the app. Okay, so I think that, they're trying to incentivize people to download the app and they will reward you as a result. So, guys, link down in the description if you want to take advantage of this amazing deal. Okay, I think it only runs until the 10th of August. Right, now, let's get back into the technical analysis over here. So guys, for me, this was a scalp, okay? This was a scalp. I saw the break. I did not like that price did not tap my level. But I know this is a great TP area. So I was literally, and I think this is what I posted, guys. What did I say? Decided to play the break of trend like yesterday, because yesterday it also front run our area. Price keeps on front running the levels. Small scalp, position closed, in and out. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be in and out. Right. Okay, so guys, without Elliott wave theory, you can apply your trading strategy with good risk management. That's all you need at the end of the day. Okay, and I mean, we have been playing the breakouts here very, very nicely together as a community. Okay, because I think the latest one, it was the one that we played over here was this one, Joop. And I have to admit, this was not an easy one. I think it scared a lot of people, but I just held on. Okay, I was like, it's following my rules. It's not breaking any of my rules. Okay, it got very choppy here. It got very choppy here. Okay. And I had my stop loss here somewhere. Played the breakout. Okay, I think here is somewhere where I can't remember exactly where I entered, but I entered in the zone and TP1, TP2, okay, leave some of the position open for higher levels, and I think this is where I closed it. Right, so that's basically what I wanted to discuss over here, but now I think there's now another interesting trend forming over here. Okay, so definitely something to keep in mind. Let's just do that nice and thin. Maybe that's another trend. Okay, guys, and remember, it's not just the D-line strategy, because there's been a lot of them over here. Okay, look at that beautiful breakout. Okay, last night I actually played the swing failure from this low just before I went to bed. I actually played the SFP there. I entered and price moved up and I protected my position. I was like, if I get stopped, because I know I was supposed to put my stop loss here, but I went to bed. I didn't want to worry about the trade. Okay, so I entered, put my stop loss at break even, and then this morning when I woke up, I had my TP at exactly $117,000. This is where I had my TP. Okay, so took profits over there. Another long trade. I'm trading with the trend. I'm trading with the momentum. It's in my best interest to look for longs. This is what I'm looking for, longs. Okay, yeah, I think myself and the community also played this long trade. We played this one. And this morning I took that little move over there. That's what I played. And now I'm not in any trades except for the swing trade and this little stupid short that I just took over here that could play out. Let's see. Okay, currently in the minus. Anyways, let's see if this plays out. Just to show you guys how it works. Let's go through some comments. Mr. SGS in the house. Welcome, legend. He has Bybit and Mexi also. Yes, I do have Bybit and Mexi links. For some reason, this community doesn't want to use those links, so I took them away just to clean up the description. Okay, but I must be, you know, I must state that I have moved over most of my Bybit funds into Bluffin. I really, really enjoy this exchange. Like I've shown you guys here, it is such an amazing exchange to enter trades. I mean, if you want to close it, just close the trade over there, right? If you want to enter, you just say buy. Okay. If I have my trade played out, I mean, look at that. You put your stop loss, you put your TP, you put your stop loss, you put your TP, and you're in. Okay. I think I did something wrong here, guys. Let me just close this trade. Okay. Right, how is XRP doing? Still very nicely here to the upside. Okay, let's go and have a look at some altcoins. Guys, I want to talk about ETH. Thank you for your excellent TA. Where do you think BTC could top out this cycle? Conservatively, if all goes according to plan, my bullish target is $170,000. More in that zone, guys. I can't get the number exactly correct, but for me, that's a conservative target. If all goes well, the bull market continues, I'm looking at minimum target $170,000. So let's see if we do get there. And obviously, depending on information that I receive on the chart, I might change my analysis. Okay, so now guys, I want to talk about ETH quickly over here. Just by the way, here on the smaller time frame. Okay, here on the 15-minute time frame. Oh boy, oh boy. Remember, let's go to the 30-minute. Do you guys remember the 1.618? Okay, where I told everyone I think this is an ABC. A, B, C. Okay, it looks like a three-wave corrective structure. I think the impulse ended over here. It tapped the 1.618 to the dollar. Okay, and bang. Right, there was also a nice little break of trend over there. Right, also a nice little break of trend over there. Highs are always a great profit taking area, guys. This is where it's currently consolidating at the moment. So if you did play this breakout, you know, just pay yourself a little bit. Okay, I can't tell you what to do. You need to press the buttons. Okay, so I want to go here onto the daily chart for ETH, and I want to show you guys something. Okay, let's zoom in over here. Right, so I think I might have to go to the 3-day chart. Right, legends. Now, this is what I am seeing here on the price of ETH. I know it looks a little bit funky wonky. I will go back to the regular scale in a moment, but I just want to get all the price action in here so I can show you guys. From a macro perspective, okay, let me just put the music a little bit softer here in the background because I want to hear myself think now at the moment. This is my technical analysis. From a macro perspective, what I see is, and just ignore the fact that this is higher price action. Price actually, this does come from lower levels. It's just not available on this chart. Okay, it does come from lower levels. But I can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a macro wave 1. The reason ETH has not done anything significant for the last couple of 2 years or so is because it was correcting in a wave 2. Okay, you guys remember the ETH stories, like why is ETH not pumping, why is ETH not pumping, why is everything exploding except for ETH? Because it was correcting this impulse. But now there's a good chance that the correction is done in a 3-wave structure, WXY. And this is why ETH has been sleeping. This is why ETH has, you know, been the most boring altcoin that was supposed to rampage to the upside that didn't do anything. Let me just take that out the way. Inside of, you know, after we, oops, what did I do? What did I do? Let me just do this. Okay. After ETH completed its macro first wave, basically the top of the previous bull cycle, okay, it formed a W, X, and lastly a, B, C in a Y. So this, ladies and gentlemen, could now be the start of this little bad boy over here. Okay, and we all know that third waves can get very, very, very aggressive. You think this was aggressive? Okay, wait until you see a third wave. But again, I'm keeping it a little bit conservative. So what I'm thinking, guys, I'm just going to go back here to the regular scale. So, you know, I don't get ahead of myself, right? I'm keeping things very conservatively over here. But if this is indeed a third wave here to the upside, okay, usually your 1.618 is a very common third wave target. Okay, it's also considered a minimum target. Okay, not the, you know, as long as your third wave is longer than your first wave, all good and well. Okay, so it can reject here by the 1 point, you know, by these levels over here. You just want it to at least go higher than the 1-to-1. So your target for ETH has to be at least higher than $6,200. Most commonly, let me just put it simple, your most common third wave target is at the 1.618, which is at $9,138. So based on my macro scenario where we have formed a 1, 2, 3, okay, then you go into a bear market. That's your bear market because you already formed your 1 and your 2. Okay, there's your 2. You guys can see how boring it gets. Okay, you can now go into your bear market and then another push to the upside to go in for full, the last leg to the upside, after which you will then see a massive correction on ETH. Okay, because after 5 waves, you know what happens. A long consolidation area to correct this entire impulse. Okay. So for now, I think we are still safe here on the price of ETH. The one thing that I do want to highlight is that if we have an absolutely insane altcoin season and ETH goes to $13,000, okay, guys, I just want to stress that third waves, they can rock and roll to the upside. I'm being conservative, okay? I'm placing minimum targets, conservative targets. The 618 levels, okay, are very common third wave targets. It can just go. Okay, this third wave, and this is why technical analysts like myself, that's why we like to trade third waves, because they are the most aggressive to the upside. So I've just placed it there, guys, as my minimum target. Labeled it the 1.618. So in essence, what I'm saying is, if everything still goes according to plan, my minimum target for ETH is $9,000. Right. Can it go higher? Yes. Can still go higher. Right. But I think, you know, this is most probably where I'm going to take a lot of profits already. A lot of profits. And I will leave a moon bag open for higher levels. So just quickly wanted to show everyone that here on the price of Ethereum. Okay. And this is why, and also the reason why it has been so boring. Guys, after an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you form a wave 1, okay, you want to see a long corrective structure in a wave 2. Impulse, correction, continuation. This is why ETH has been sleeping. Okay, and there's a chance that the low is now finally in. And this is why, guys, if you remember my previous live streams when I spoke about ETH in this zone over here, this is why I was so bullish on ETH, because I counted the last wave to the downside. Okay, I started buying, I bought very aggressive, and I still had a limit order at the 1.618 a little bit further down that never got tapped, but I got very aggressive with buying over here, and I told everyone I'm buying. I didn't keep it secret, and no, I told everyone I'm buying, but I mean, Bitcoin was at such a bad space, there was so much fear in the market, everyone thought I was absolutely crazy for doing that. But now I'm reaping the rewards because I'm buying when there's fear in the market. Right. Hi, Dewald. Happy Friday. Elizabeth, welcome, welcome. Always great to see you here. Hi, folks. Mariella, it's stuck on a 5-minute D-line at the moment. Yes, guys, I mean, you can trade this momentum on the D-line strategies like a crazy person. ETH is waking up. Yes, ETH is absolutely doing amazing. Yeah, on the 1 hour time frame, let's see what's cooking over here. Okay. Yeah, you're getting a reaction at the high. If you played the breakout, you need to start taking profits. From a day trading perspective, depending on whether you have a swing trade open from lower levels, I unfortunately do not have a swing trade open on ETH, but I do have a significant spot bag, which I'm going to hold on to, guys. I'm going to hold on to it for, a little bit longer. Right, as long as dominance keeps on dropping here to the downside, okay. Something interesting, you guys are most probably going to laugh when you see this, okay. Dewald is using a moving average. Can you believe? Okay, let's just make it a bright blue. Let's make it nice and thick. I was looking at this moving average, the 200 EMA moving average over here. Okay, dominance fell down. It retested it, and now it's getting momentum back to the downside. So it looks like it's, it's doing its job here from a resistance perspective. Just something interesting I noticed. But you all know that I'm not a moving average person. Okay, I use trend-based FIB extensions. Swing failure lines, daily, weekly levels, and so forth. Okay, guys, so what's going to be interesting over here? Let's switch on some levels here on Bitcoin. I just quickly want to wrap this up here on Bitcoin. Not much there. Okay, we have a weekly level still upstairs. There's still a chance for momentum to continue here to the upside. So the first area of interest, like I've highlighted to the Legends Pro community this morning, is this naked point of control. So yesterday when price ranged over here, it created a high volume node. So if price dips down, it starts trading back above, breaks the trend, I will consider a long. If price breaks down and it's below my area of interest, no trade. Okay, this is what I'm planning here. Right, so that is the only trade that I'm looking at the moment. If price does successfully break out here to the upside, watch out for the weekly point of control together with another naked daily point of control. And I do think that that has confluence with a 0.618 almost, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's go here onto the 1 hour. I just want to see where this aligns. It definitely aligns with that high volume node. Let me check it out. Yeah, it aligns with this high volume node. Also want to take a FIB from the high to the low. Okay, no, it won't be the 618. Okay, but just guys, pay attention to the weekly point of control, because inside of this range, lots of volume, and you have a weekly point of control. So it could pop and reject. Okay, so if you do entertain any long positions, you still need to pay yourself, okay, when you hit resistance to the upside. Right. Okay, so 15-minute, just want to see the structure here to the downside. I want to take a trend-based FIB. I want to just check out something here. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to get acceptance back above, guys. But, I mean, from a trend-based FIB extension perspective, these are the levels that I will watch. Okay. It would be nice if it can at least tap the 0.618 and it gets the bounce back inside. Okay, now that is something that will be interesting to me, because yeah, I mean, if this is a 3-wave corrective structure, you want at least one of these levels to be tapped. At least one of these levels needs to be tapped if this is a 3-wave structure, the way that I have measured it here at the moment. Okay, otherwise, you ignore the trend-based FIB. It did tap the level at the moment. It did tap it. I want to see if there's bullish CVD. Nope, still bearish. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, I mean, you still have bearish CVD building up. You have some bullish CVD, but now by the Bybit bros over here, okay, they most probably had limit orders at that level. They most probably had limit orders. So I wouldn't be surprised if price, okay, it gets the bounce and it claims it again, okay, because of this. You have bearish CVD against that pivot, which means that the low can be claimed again. Right, but I mean, guys, if you sniper, and I know the pro, Mr. Crypto Big Brains, I did see you here somewhere. Yes, okay. If you sniper, I mean, you can get into these trades with good risk management, okay? You get in, I know, because this is how some of the people trade inside of our community. They get in, stop below the low, price moves up, they protect position, okay? If you get stopped out, you don't lose cash, right? That's the way to go, okay? Remember, legends, if you would like to come and trade with the best exchanges that I personally trade on, links down in the description where you get the best sign-up bonuses and lowest trading fees. If you'd like to join our Legends Pro community, also link is down here in the description. Right, legends, as per the beginning of the live stream, if for those of you that's joined a little bit late, I'm going to make an attempt to do more live streams next week, but I'm going to keep them a little bit shorter so that I can still get to the other stuff that I need to do. So it looks like the frequency is the issue for the people. So I will increase the frequency, but then I'm going to decrease the duration of the live streams. So I think that's something that I'm going to try work on next week. So maybe we do a live stream every single day, but it will only be for 30 minutes. Right, legends, have yourselves an amazing weekend. I've unfortunately run out of time. And take a break, guys, tomorrow, Saturday, take a break from the chart. Okay, I challenge you to take a break from the chart tomorrow. Switch off your computer, not sleep mode. No. Shut down. Okay, shut down. Delete or disable the TradingView app on your phone. Take a break from the charts tomorrow. Relax and enjoy your weekend. Reset your brain, and then maybe on Sunday, Monday, you know, we take the opportunities on again. Smash up that like button on your way out. And until the next one, legends. Cheers for now.